We can go live.
Okay, mute our mics. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Staying Up with Pat and Jodi. Wow, that camera angle is really wide, isn't it?
Yeah, you think you might have to run back there.
I'm going to have to zoom in.
Just
I'm
run back.
going to do some technical stuff.
I can carry the show.
Carry the show by yourself.
I could so carry Staying Up with Pat
I'm going to go
Jodi.
do something technical because I have no cameraman back there. So
yeah,
watch this.
Okay.
Watch this. I'm going to disappear for a few seconds.
Okay, Pat's going to fix that. So welcome, everybody. Yes, we are back with a brand new March edition of Staying Up with Pat and Jodi. I am Jodi. Pat is working on the camera, as you can see. Yay! He's got it. That's much better, Pat. Don't get too close, please. I haven't had hair and makeup done today, so it's all good. We're still recovering from Mobile Beat, so please, back it. Okay. Anyway, so welcome, guys. I know you guys have missed us. We haven't been on in a while. Just that's what you get when you run a business, and it's just really busy. Every time of the year is busy, but particularly now it's busy season. So we had some awesome, amazing pool weather here in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And now we're dressing for winter. It's gotten really cold outside all of a sudden.
Well,
so.
it's not really cold. It's like in the 60s today.
Okay.
So all the people on the East Coast that are they're still freezing. It's supposed to be fall there. Or so spring there, and they're still getting snow and freezing temperatures, and we're squeezing in for the Instagram version.
We're doing an Instagram live today.
Yeah.
And by the way, this Instagram live thing just goes away. So we're hoping to get to number 1 on Instagram live.
Number one.
Number 1. We hope to, because not too many people do Instagram live. So we're hoping to go Instagram live. But how have you all been? Have you missed us? Y'all, we've missed you so
absolutely.
much. But I do have to tell you, we do. Joe Hecht's on there. Joey Hecht.
Hey, Joey.
Joe Hecht.
How you doing? Now I got to pan the camera.
Now I got a phone call. Hang on.
You got a phone.
Don't these people know I'm doing an Instagram? Sorry about that, folks. I had a phone call come in.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Where are you going?
I still got to fix the camera.
Oh my God, he's going back. All right. Well, to get serious, everybody, we want to express our condolences to our friend Jim Ross. If you don't know Jim Ross is the WWE or former WWE color commentator, and his wife passed away yesterday. She was killed, I guess.
Yeah.
She was killed in a
scooter accident.
A scooter accident. She was on her way home from the gym, and a guy hit her scooter as she was coming home from the gym at about 9 o'clock at night.
And multiple head fractures. She was not wearing a helmet. So, folks, even on a scooter, wear your helmet.
Yeah. So
gear saves your lives, and it doesn't matter if you're on a 5-horsepower Vespa or a 200 horsepower.
That's what she was on. She was on
Ducati.
a Vespa, and he had tweeted before they gave her last rites that they needed a miracle. So she's a super nice lady, 55 years old. She wasn't very old. They were such a great couple. I would see them at the Cauliflower Alley together, and he would say on his podcast, our tomorrows aren't guaranteed. And what's funny? I heard his last podcast. He had Kevin Nash on, Kevin Nash, WWE superstar, Kevin Nash, and Jim always signs off his shows. Our tomorrows are not guaranteed.
Yeah.
And this show he didn't sign off.
Wow.
And then his wife was alive for that show, and then now his new show is with Bill Goldberg, which they haven't released yet because of what's going on. But I thought it was strange how the guy who says our tomorrows are never guaranteed, the one show that he didn't say it, his wife dies.
Yeah.
It's just weird. But, our condolences to you, Jim Ross. I know you don't listen to our show, but we are friends through Cauliflower Alley. So.
And it's going to be questionable. I got to wonder if he's going to make it to WrestleMania this year because he has the live appearances that are scheduled. And if he does, boy, that's going to be tough.
Well, if you remember, Ric Flair's son died right before WrestleMania, and he did show up.
Yeah, he did.
And you know what? That was the best medicine for him because he was with his colleagues. He was with the people that love him and support him. He didn't do fan access.
No.
But he did go out there and he was with his friends. So
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best medicine for Jim Ross.
Yeah.
I think that's what he should do.
Yeah, to be around people that love you, and when you have thousands and thousands of fans, you're certainly going to get plenty of love.
Yeah, and support, and your colleagues. I mean,
your colleagues,
your
yeah,
wrestling colleagues, the Pattersons, and even, I mean, if you read his Twitter account, all the people that love him and said, prayers for him, Trish Stratus and Edge and just all those people, the McMahons. I mean, just all the people out there. Not to mention his Cauliflower Alley family. So I think getting back together with all of us is good. It's a good way to grieve. So
absolutely.
And then speaking of grieving, Chuck Berry, Marvin.
This was not a good week for Chuck. This is not a good week for Chuck's, and we'll talk about that more. But Chuck Berry,
90 though,
90 years old, and a rock and roll legend, and
Back to the
Future. Chuck, this is your cousin Marvin Berry.
Marvin Berry, listen to this.
Yeah, exactly. So
they played Chuck's 911 call on TMZ, and they played the TMZ call right before the ambulance got there, and Chuck just wasn't breathing. They're like, you should hear the call. It's on TMZ. So, but he's a rock and roll legend.
Quite the
Johnny B.
character.
Good, back in the
and an interesting character, from what I understand.
Beethoven.
He would only work for cash, and you had to pay him up front. He would only work for cash, and it had to be paid up front. So if you booked him on an event,
really,
you had to pay him cash up front. If you gave him a 50% deposit and you didn't have the cash when he got there, he left. And he would do weird stuff. It's like, oh, how much money is in that register over there? Give me that. And if you didn't give it to him, he'd leave. He was just weird, and he never, he just was paranoid because he obviously came in from a day where he got ripped off by a lot of people. So
that's why I want to run my business. Cash up
front, cash
Bing.
only. Right? That was him. He was cash up front.
Well, there are companies that do that. I mean, there are companies out there that will give you big, deep discounts if you pay them cash only.
Sure, I don't know about deep discounts, but certainly discounts.
Yeah, I mean, come on, even in this business, people will say, "Hey, if I pay you cash, will you lower the rate?"
We don't have to pay the fees on the credit cards if you've ever had a
American
process.
Express sucks.
Yeah, it's like American Express. You can wind up paying by the time you're done 7-8% on a transaction, and if it's a big transaction, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that hurts. That hurts bad.
Yeah.
So, so it's kind of interesting how he would just, and he performed. I mean, literally almost all the way up until he died.
Yeah.
Just, like I said, just kind
of. But a legend, no matter what. I mean,
we
still play his music at parties and events. I mean, his music still rocks the dance floor.
And if we weren't on YouTube, that doesn't like us playing copywritten music for any reason whatsoever, just their policy. That's
why we have that amazing theme.
It's not just Johnny B. Good.
He played Roll Over Beethoven.
Roll Over Beethoven.
Yep.
Can you think of a? There was a
teenage wedding in the old school.
Okay, I'm thinking of a humorous song.
My Ding-a-ling.
My Ding-a-ling. That is now. I can't play it on here.
The boys in the control room have no idea about My Ding-a-ling.
We'll play it for them later.
But yes, we'll play it for you later.
Google it. Google it and play My Ding-a-ling.
What's up, Charmed Angel? It's Charlene in the house.
Charlene.
Yeah, lately I've been having brain problems. I don't know what it is. Like I'll see
lately.
Really?
Really?
You really want to go there?
So you hear that silence?
Really?
That silence that was deadly. I felt the heat coming off her eyes when I did that. Really? Still coming off. I feel warm. I feel like it's summertime right now.
It is summer. You're the guy who said, "Oh, in Las Vegas, it's not cold."
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's summertime.
It's not cold now.
Oh my God. Oh, and guess who came to town to visit us? Mike Walter, and he left his. I told him I would send it to him. So it's my bad, but yes.
We should send him.
What?
Because he's probably not listening.
No, he's not.
What artist would just like annoy the worst? Like
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf, or maybe like Britney Spears. Let's send him.
I would
Britney
send him
Spears.
a WWE, like you put
WWE,
Hulk
or
Hogan,
just
Bill Goldberg picture.
Let's get him a Walking Dead poster and send that.
Okay.
And just say, "Here is your poster."
Hey, Charlene. Say hi to Charlene.
Hi, Charlene.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. Walking Dead poster.
He hates Walking Dead so much that, or doesn't hate it. He just
tunes
could
out.
care less.
And speaking of Walking Dead, 2 more episodes.
2 more episodes until the season finale, and then we have to wait months and months again.
But then we have the Fear of the Walking Dead coming back.
Yeah, Fear of the Walking Dead comes back.
I kind of vaguely remember where we last left off on that show.
They were all trying to get across the border, and then they got
his
caught.
Girlfriend get killed. She got shot.
Yeah.
Nick's girlfriend got shot. We'll be
caught up on that.
They'll
do a marathon. They'll do a marathon.
But I think we're gonna lose Sasha.
Sasha, they said she's captured. She's gonna get captured. She decided to go after Negan.
Yes.
She went in.
Yep.
Thinking she was going to go into this giant compound that she doesn't know and kill Negan. That was just stupid.
Well, but Jesus wrote the messages. Not Jesus, but if you watch the show, Jesus.
Yeah, they're going, Jesus? It's a religious show? No, it's a guy that looks like Jesus that they call Jesus, who just admitted that he was gay, by the way.
Good
Spoiler alert. And
now,
in a very subtle way. You know, I could never make connections with friends or family or boyfriends. And just kind of and yeah, it was just like
kind of like you did, Pat.
Yeah, like I did. Yeah. Exactly. Just in passing.
And by the way, I'm
boyfriend.
It's
like, that's why you weren't all over Sasha and the other girls.
And Maggie.
And Maggie had Glenn at the time. And she was pregnant, so that's kind of we understand.
Could have went with Tara.
Tara.
So yeah, but at least we'll lose. I hear we're going to lose quite a few people on this coming in the next 2 weeks. So I'm excited, looking forward to it. Always, The Walking Dead is one of our favorite shows, and then hopefully Game of Thrones comes back real soon. That's another one that we really like. Oh my goodness,
can't get enough of the Game of Thrones.
But Dancing with the Stars. Hello.
Oh, you're all over. Oh, Dancing with the Stars. Charo. Holy smokes, she's got to be like 102 now, and she's still. She is still. First off, I just got to say, worst nose job since Michael Jackson. Okay. Well, I mean, honestly, I think she went.
There's three people on Instagram Live right now. Like, put a heart up there if you think Charo has the worst nose job.
So, her and Michael Jackson went to the same plastic surgeon. Honestly. But that woman still has more energy than any human being.
She's like in her 70s.
I know.
Yeah.
She's like in her 70s, and she's
that poor partner
over the place. He's just like, oh my goodness. There we go. We got some hearts.
There we go. Thank you guys.
Thank you for.
Yeah. She's like in her 70s. Poor Keo. What does Keo have to do every year? He always gets the worst. He always gets the crazies.
Yeah,
Keo.
But he gets to say that he danced with Charo.
Keo.
And she's married, but I think she raped him. I'm not sure.
And what about?
And it happened so quickly he didn't realize.
What about your girl Sharna with the guy who grabbed her puss? Can
grabbed
I say
her
that?
puss?
Puss.
And said it was an accident.
On live TV, he grabbed her.
Puss.
Puss. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, he just kind of touched it on accident.
Pat's been watching too much of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
I wonder why. Because I can't watch anything else when it's on. I have to.
My God, the Real Housewives
I have to leave the house.
It's the best show ever of Beverly Hills.
Absolute trash
Erica
television.
Jane?
There are no likable people on that show, and it's just complete trash.
How could you say that? Lisa Rinna is super likable. Eileen Davidson is
the only one that seems
and
even
her
partially
Vinny,
normal.
They're friggin'
Everybody else is a complete lunatic, and just people you would love to see strangled in the middle of the night.
Give us a heart for that.
It's like, oh my goodness, hateable people.
Everybody loves.
And one
Erica.
of them is on Dancing with the Stars.
Everybody loves Erica Jane, but I have to say, if anybody from Dancing with the Stars is listening to the show,
she's getting kicked off early.
I honestly feel the same way. I think she's good because she comes across as too snooty,
she's
like
uptight, unrelatable.
Yeah. Do you want that car? You like the car? Well, if we win, it's yours.
Is it gonna have it? Sure.
Yeah.
No big deal. Yeah. I'll give you that Lambo.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, I know we're on camera. Yeah.
And then she just had a meltdown when Eileen said to her, "Well, it's not like she killed your kid. What do you know? My kid is on the line. Like her son's a police officer in Beverly Hills. Hello." Really?
Yeah, the worst thing they get there is, excuse me, sir, can you move your Bentley? It's in front of a fire hydrant, or it's parked in the red zone.
I'm sure Joe Hecht is online. I'm sure Joe Hecht would know that sometimes there's real crimes in Beverly Hills.
Oh, absolutely. Real serious crimes. Oh, yeah. You got to be careful out there. There's some dangerous folks that
you remember
wander through.
Beverly Hills Cop with Eddie Murphy? Come
on.
And
that's 100% realistic.
That's 100.
Yeah, we believe all that is true.
Just like zombies.
Yeah. And that was in the 80s, too. So.
When I went to California, Malibu is probably listening. When we were in California, we went to the Beverly Hills Police Department.
Yeah.
And we took a picture with a Beverly Hills cop with a Beverly Hills police car.
Okay.
So, yeah, we took a picture and we posted it. Well, we couldn't post it on Facebook, but we have that picture. Because of Beverly Hills Cop. We're like, oh, look, let's go get a picture. So we're like this. Hi.
And they're all friendly people.
They were.
They don't have to deal with all the craziness that the other police departments have to.
Well, they're Beverly Hills.
They're Beverly Hills. If I'm going to be a cop, I want to be a cop in Beverly Hills.
But remember that woman.
So plus that I could say I'm Beverly Hills cop.
But remember there was
I'm Eddie Murphy.
There was that woman though. That woman. Well, wait a minute. The two brothers, the Menendez brothers, lived in Beverly Hills. There was a crime.
Okay,
that was a serious crime. They killed their parents.
But nobody else was in danger. Okay,
how do we know?
They killed them in the house, and then all they had to worry about was getting attacked by their hair pieces. That's
One
it.
had a hair piece.
That. Look, every serious crime that's happened in Beverly Hills has made national news. So we know that we know how often they have any kind of interesting
things. That lady though, remember the publicist that got killed?
Yeah, it was a drive-by.
Was it a hit?
It looked like a hit. It would seem like a hit. Just drive by, bang, 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 go.
Beverly Hills, though, is pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty big, and there are some major main roads that go through there from one point to another. So you do have some of the Hollywood people coming in.
You need to be 90210.
No,
that is Beverly Hills.
That is Beverly Hills. 90210.
90210.
Yeah.
You watch my show, Beverly Hills 90210.
Yeah.
Hawthorne.
Hawthorne 90, yeah, whatever.
90, yeah, whatever.
Whatever it was.
Inside joke.
Way like a 27-year-old inside joke.
As bad as
Jodi likes to keep her references fresh. Yes.
Like your French maid?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's about as fresh as that. It's about the same time period too.
It was definitely the same time period as the French maid. But anyway, all right, enough about the French maid.
Well, look, we forgot to mention that when we talked about Chuck Berry dying.
Okay, yeah, we
forgot the other Chuck. There was another famous Chuck that passed away. That was even more interesting.
That was super rich. Man, this guy had freaking money.
And what was he known for? He wrote a book. He was known
for the Gong Show.
And the Gong Show. He
wrote
Gong
Chuck
Show
Barris.
And did all these other game shows.
Didn't he do the dating game?
He did the dating game.
The
yes,
Newlywed
he did.
Game.
Newlywed Game.
He had a bunch of TV shows.
Didn't
he have on Match Game? Not Match Game. No, it was a Todman Goodson Productions.
Right.
But Chuck Barris had he had a ton. The $1.98 beauty pageant.
That's right.
With Rip Taylor.
But what was he also famous for that everybody thought he was crazy for when he wrote his book?
He said he was a spy.
He said he was a spy. And he would leave the Gong Show, film tapings of the Gong Show.
But then he said it
to
was
go
bullshit.
Assassinate people. But
then he said it was bullshit.
Did he?
Yeah, he later
read
said,
the book.
Go read the book. I have time to read a friggin' book.
Yeah,
I can't even watch
books on tape. Maybe he read
books on tapes.
Maybe he read it.
That'd be cool. But don't you remember do you remember the Gong Show when you were a kid?
Yeah, I remember the Gong Show.
He wrote music too. Charlene said he wrote music.
Yeah. In fact,
what was the song that he wrote? Go ahead and Google it and type it in.
Yeah, tell us what the song was that the name of the song. But I think he wrote the theme to the Gong Show too. He did, but he was nutty.
Who remembers the theme to the Gong? There was a theme to the. I just remember Chucky baby, hey Chucky baby, and him and J.P. Morgan. Getting it on. Remember J.P. Morgan, Jamie Farr?
Yep.
With the gong. And then he had the guy that put the bag over his head, the unknown comic.
Yeah.
Yep. And
we're aging ourselves.
The dancing machine.
Let me just say that in our control room right now,
they have no idea.
Nobody in that room has any idea of what we're talking about.
They have no idea. They're totally lost.
Zero of the references that we just made.
They're saying right now, Pat, we're older than their parents.
They're like, these guys are so old.
They DJ parties. Like Jodi still goes on.
Was that before World War II? I'm not sure.
Was that MASH?
Yeah.
Was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air still on? Who's Will Smith?
Was that in black and white? I don't know.
Who's Garth Brooks?
Who's Garth Brooks? So Chuck Barris dies at, he's 87?
Yes.
So but it's two Chucks in a row, two famous Chucks in a row, and you gotta wonder, two Chucks, double Chucks,
Two Chucks.
two Chucks, that's like a somebody's
Chucks.
name, like Lumchucks. Like Lumchucks.
Please, I hope
That's a reference that the guys in the back got.
That they got.
They know Lumchucks. Everybody else is like, what the hell is Lumchucks?
it's a bad combo meal at the Chinese restaurant.
Exactly. We just go down to the Thai restaurant and you'll find. Go ask for Lumchucks.
Just ask for the Lumchucks.
Can I have the Lumchuck special? Just go, to any of the Thai restaurants
Next
around
time we take you, Chuck Road, Palisades Park.
Thank you very much, Charlene.
Of course, a New Jersey girl would know that.
New Jersey, New Jersey. They know all that about New Jersey.
Yeah. She knows all that. She's from Flemington.
Flemington.
The home of Flemington furs.
Flemington.
I've been to the Flemington Coat Factory, by the way.
Have you? Yes. I went to Fleming Junior High.
Did you? Oh, there we go.
Yes, I did. No ton at the end, just Fleming.
Fleming. Oh, no, this was
Alexander Fleming Junior High. And what was Alexander Fleming famous for, by the way?
I don't know what.
He discovered penicillin.
That I'm allergic
there you
to.
Go. Just completely crashed the show with
that
one fact.
Supposedly, I'm allergic
Just killed everything. And me too. I'm supposed to be allergic to it as well.
I've been to Oceanside Park with Sandy, where she's from. Oh, Joe Hecht.
Joe Hecht is from Oceanside.
Yeah, Joe Hecht probably knew Chuck Barris.
Yeah.
Joe Hecht is connected.
He's connected.
His brother-in-law is Greg Evigan.
I know.
Oh, my God. I'm the biggest. I loved Greg Evigan. A Year at the Top. I bet you he didn't know I watched A Year at the Top. I remember my two dads. And A Year at the Top. And, of course, everybody's favorite Greg Evigan show was BJ and the Bear.
BJ and the Bear. I grew up with that. I was a little kid. I just remember anything with a monkey was funny. You know.
What was that other show, Mr. Smith, that Rush?
Yeah, Mr. Smith. Yeah,
I never.
Gary knew.
Gary knew.
Shut up! You watched Fear the Top.
Shut up! You watched Fear the Top. That came out weird Year at the Top. Yeah, Year at the Top. I was a little kid at the time.
Yeah,
I was like 13, and he is handsome.
Devilishly handsome. Yes. Well, Joey, you're devilishly handsome too.
No,
so
that's Dylan. Dylan is saying that.
Well, Dylan's almost devilishly handsome. When he gets a little bit older, he'll be devilishly handsome.
Oh my God, yes,
he needs
Dylan
a few years first. He's
Dylan. That's why he's the king of the mitzvahs in Philly. Oh my God, like. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're hearing little whispers.
That's okay.
Nobody else that's what they're supposed to do. But yes, I remember his. Paul Reiser. Was it Paul Reiser? It was Paul Reiser.
Yeah.
He's just turned 6. Dylan just turned 15.
Just turned 15.
Mazel tov.
Yeah, he looks 15, so that's okay. He looks like, you know what he looks like? He looks like the kid in school that got facial hair really young, but he's still really young. That's what Dylan looks like. He looks like
I do know. A Year at the Top co-star Joe Hecht is asking me, was it Paul Schaefer? It was Paul Schaefer. I know that Greg Evigan and Paul Schaefer did something together. What was it? I think it was Paul. And listen, I'm not cheating.
Yeah, we're not looking it up on Google. We're trying to remember with our brains. We're
actually having a conversation with Joe Hecht, who's brother-in-law to Greg Evigan, who's the brother-in-law to Greg Evigan, one of my favorite stars
who probably
on TV.
had sleepovers at Chuck Berry's house. That's what I'm thinking.
Chuck Barris's house.
Berry's house.
Oh, Chuck Berry's house.
Yeah.
Joe Hecht for sure, because Joe Hecht is connected. Yeah. Joe Hecht definitely. You're right. Yes, you're right. Tell us what she wins. Chuck. Yay! I knew it. Paul Schaefer. I was right.
Yeah.
I'm such a fan.
She wins a trip to Anaheim.
Yay! I'm going to see Joe Hecht. Yay! I am actually Wedding Wire World.
Yeah.
In Anaheim. But yes, tell us what you won, Chuck. The Rip Taylor by the way, is Rip Taylor even still alive, Pat? Rip Taylor?
I don't know.
Remember he did the $1.98 beauty contest.
Yeah. Good old Rip Taylor.
Malibu and I, we used to love the Chuck Barris show. He was really cool.
He was
really
a nut,
cool.
that's for sure.
Yeah. He gave us really good television in the 70s. I wonder if you could get away with that now. I think you did. It was called American Idol.
Yeah.
It was American Idol. It's called America's Got Talent, except we don't have a gong. That's the...
Yeah, and it was mostly wacky stuff, too. I mean, there was some talented people, but most of it, they brought on a lot of weird people.
Oh, Rip Taylor was a family friend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See? Joey Hecht, man, he's hooked up. He's hooked up. He's the man. You need the connections. That's him right there.
The only thing that Joey Hecht couldn't get right, though, was the weather yesterday when Jason Clarke wanted to go take a photo of the Hollywood sign.
Yeah.
Joe Hecht is as much power as he has.
He couldn't get rid of the fog.
That fog away.
Couldn't get rid of the fog away. He didn't have enough. He could. He needs a little more notice ahead of time.
Yeah, I guess
he can get rid of the fog as long as he has at least 10 days notice. That's his. Anything less than that, it's never guaranteed. So.
But so there you go. You're connected, Hex. That's right. He is connected. But Joe, next time we go on a plane, we're all going to Philadelphia. We're going to Philly.
Hey, yo.
We're going to go visit Dylan. We're all going to Philadelphia in July for our next conference. I mean, we're going to LA, but traveling in a plane. I'm actually traveling in a plane.
I'm not.
So did you guys know that as of today, there are going to be certain restrictions on what you bring onto planes, like electronic devices. So I guess apparently there's an ISIS threat out there. So recent measures by the U.S. and the UK to restrict electronic devices on flights from certain overseas airports. So you're not going to be able, and they're going to be incorporating this into where we are now. So you're not going to be able to. You can right now. You can bring a smartphone. You can bring a
DVD player, portable gaming.
But you cannot bring
tablets,
your tablet,
laptop,
e-reader,
anything measured more than 16 centimeters by 9 centimeters. In other words, 7 by 3.5 inches.
I just use batteries.
Yeah, just use batteries. We know what you use batteries for.
Okay.
Anyway.
But this is right now. But they're talking about like foreign travel, specifically Middle East.
From Middle Eastern countries, from Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, Cairo, Istanbul, Kuwait.
We have people that listen to. By the way, because we are, we stream this to people from around the world. People from all around the world can hear this show, so we do have people. LOL. My daughter went. Ew.
Sorry, we're reading the Instagram feed.
Yeah, so if we go off topic, we're doing Instagram.
We're doing
today.
YouTube and Instagram at the same time.
Tell them where they can find us on Facebook.
You can also find us on YouTube. Just go and look up Patrick Harris on YouTube, and you'll find Staying Up with Pat and Jodi. We didn't have time to put the link up on Facebook, but we will next time we do a live show.
Yeah, we did. We wanted to try this Instagram thing because I went to a seminar and a girl boss seminar, and the gentleman who created Instagram was talking about his Instagram. Plus, Joe Hecht and Dylan were all at the DJ show, and we heard Sonny Ganguly, that's his name, Sonny Ganguly from Wedding Wire, say how popular Instagram is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try this out because I do have a seminar next week here in Las Vegas that I'm giving on tips on tools that you can use.
And we will be streaming that live.
We will.
We'll be streaming that live from.
We are?
Yes, yeah, that's right. She's like all of a sudden shocked. We will be streaming live from the world headquarters because we're no longer the penthouse anymore. We're back to world headquarters. So now at the world headquarters, we will be streaming a multimedia, social media. A phablet is my
phablet. What the frig is a phablet?
A big phone. Like mine is almost considered a phablet.
Did you boys in the control room know what a phablet is?
In fact, my phone actually might not be allowed. Yeah, no idea. A phablet is a phone tablet, which basically means a large format phone. So if my phone is larger than 6.9 inches tall, it could be considered a phablet, which means that they would not allow me to bring my phone on the plane. If I'm coming from one of those countries, though. Domestic travel, it hasn't affected yet. If it did, boy, that would be tough because think of all the business travelers that, what do you mean I can't take my laptop and my phone and all my other devices?
Well, I mean, when you fly like certain airlines like JetBlue and Virgin America, they actually have the TV sets in it, so that's pretty cool. But I think I'd be lost.
But it's for when you get there. When you get, a lot of people travel for business and they need to have their tablets.
Well, when you get a long flight, like when you're traveling to like LA to New York, Vegas to New York, or Jersey, I mean, you got to have something. Some airlines have it, some don't. So
Joe Hecht, have to stop texting work calls. Well, you don't have to work, Joey. Come on, Joey. You're the boss, man. You're the president of the United States as far in your office.
It's his world, and
it's your world, and we just live in it, Joey. Come on now.
I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut.
That's right. I got some nuts in the control room.
I'm cornflake without the milk.
Oh, you're down again. They don't know what
Brandon knows that one. I give Brandon that one.
Brandon knows that song.
Yeah, I say Brandon knows Orange Juice Jones.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say because if it's he'll probably mixed it into something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Orange Juice Jones.
Orange Juice Jones.
But speaking of Orange juice.
We have an orange juice
no,
story.
We actually don't have an orange juice story.
I thought we were going to talk about orange juice.
We are talking about the death of retail. Do you think retail, like stores like JCPenney and Sears and Kmart, Macy's, do you think we're not going to see these stores anymore? What's your feelings on that? I mean, JCPenney closing 138 stores. Sears is going to keep what they got right now, but Kmart closing 108 stores. Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. I think a lot of it has to do with these companies have to keep up with the times, and their online presence has to grow, because I think we always need brick and mortar stores. I got to try on clothes before I buy them.
What are we going to do on Black Friday?
Yeah.
Where am I going to go?
Think about it. Do you really want to buy all your clothes online and then you get them and they don't fit because all the sizes are wrong?
No.
Do you want to buy, there's some electronics. I've already seen this TV before, so I don't mind buying it because I know what it is. But there's a lot of products you've never seen, and it looks great in the pictures, and you get it, it's a plastic piece of crap.
Amazon is kicking their ass.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. Amazon's kicking their ass.
So I think you're going to see a reduction in brick and mortar, but I think brick and mortar, at least for the foreseeable future, is still going to have to live.
I have to try on clothes. I can't. I couldn't buy a dress online and not know what it looks like and what it feels like.
There's certain things. Look, I buy a lot of stuff online, but there's certain things I need to see first. I mean, I just bought, perfect example, I got a couple new speakers sitting in the warehouse right now that we're going to play with after this. I waited till I could see them in person before I bought them. It was way too big a purchase to just do online and hope that they were going to work right.
Well, Dylan just posted doing a huge accounting project on this. All gone, brick and mortar, all gone. E-commerce is
the way to go. And there's been a lot of predictions for that for a year, but you just never know. We can predict it based on trends, but trends are not linear. Sometimes they go up, sometimes they go down, and there may be just sort of a comfort zone that we reach that we're like, okay, we need this much brick and mortar, because if you get rid of all of it, you're just going to buy everything online. That's kind of tough. I mean, I'm sure some people could do it, but after a while, you're going to get pissed off of having to return stuff because it wasn't right.
You know what I like about this now? It has plateaued. You know what I like about now is that, like, if you want to pick up something, like you with your Best Buy, you see something online, Pat will see something online, and then he goes to Best Buy and it's there waiting for him. Like, it's like,
you can. That's where I think where Best Buy is starting to figure it out, where you can go online, they can give you online pricing, and it'll tell you if it's available at one of the stores near you. And if it's not, you'll order it, and then they'll tell you when you can pick it up. So, which is kind of convenient because it's going to be close to you anyway, or they can deliver it, of course. But at least I get to go into the store and physically pick it up, and I know that it's there, and I get to see it. So they're creating kind of a hybrid, and I think that's the way it's going to have to work. So again, I don't see that they're going to disappear. I see that the ones that survive are the ones that adapt, and it's any business. You have to adapt to the times, and if you don't adapt to them, you're going to fade away and die.
You're going to lose the race.
It's like if you're a DJ and you're still spinning vinyl, although that's starting to come back.
CDs.
Or even CDs. Yeah, went back really far. It's going to be tough on you.
Well, and I think, you know what I think too? I think if you're a business and you incorporate some sort of live chat onto your website, I think that's huge. I think that's going to be huge for you. I think it's going to be a gate. I said it right. Huge. Huge. I'm from New York. I say huge. And I get yelled at all the time.
Is that like Cool Whip?
Oh, don't even go there.
No Cool Whip?
What?
Cool Whip.
It's Cool Whip.
That's right. Exactly.
What did you say?
Cool Whip.
It's not cool. It's cool. Stewie, it's cool. Is it Stewie and Brian that get into this?
Stewie and Brian that have this, yes. Yeah. And then, of course, Meg
now
gets
they're
into,
laughing in the
they
now
get that
they get
one.
it. Oh,
and a while. And Meg does a while.
A while.
A while. Why are you putting the emphasis on the H?
Nuts.
Yeah, there's no H in that, so it didn't work.
Go to hell.
Well, I'm not even going to comment on that one.
But Radio Shack, my God, don't you remember back in the day when we all used to run the Radio Shack?
I lived at Radio Shack.
Oh my God, they're closing like 68 Radio Shack. How many? 187 Radio Shacks are closing.
Yeah.
What are we going to do without the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton. Yes, Will Wheaton. Thank you, Joey.
Don't encourage him, please. I have to live with this every year. Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
Oh, my gosh. I have to live with this. Okay,
Joey's just an instigator. See that?
He is.
Good job, Joey.
All right, so today, Jim Tan and legislation. Snooki's $32,000 payday for appearing at Rutgers inspires a New Jersey bill to cap speaker fees. So Snooki from Jersey Shore apparently got paid $32,000 to speak at the college, the Rutgers University College. And I guess people were legislation was up in arms. They're like, what the hell, $32,000 to hear her talk about being a slut in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So basically they now the universities have capped out, if you want to be a public speaker and go speak at a university, $10,000 fries. $10,000. So that's the cap now. You cannot spend more than $10,000 on bringing a speaker in.
Yeah, well, and you know that a lot of these universities will bring in like politicians and pay them $250,000 to speak, and it's like, what advantage is that to the university? What does that do other than raise? Go
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I love this. When Snooki for $32,000, here's what Snooki told students. This is great. Here's what she said, and I quote. She advised students to study hard, but party harder.
Yeah. Woo.
That cost Rutgers University $32,000.
I could do that.
Joe Heck said he'll do it for
$20K. Cool. See, we're already saving the money. See, Joey is coming up with solutions.
He's got much better stories than Snooki.
Yeah, way better stories than Snooki.
Stories.
Way better. And he's taller.
And he's better looking.
And taller and better looking, yes.
And his tan is real.
That's right. His tan is real. It's not that fake spray-on tan. You know.
Remember, Pat, when we talked about Monopoly not too long ago? We talked about the Monopoly pieces.
Yeah, changing the pieces,
Okay. Well, the popular U.S. board game is changing out 3 of its playing tokens.
Oh.
So they're swapping in a penguin, a T-Rex, and a rubber thucky.
Rubber thucky?
Rubber thucky.
That sounds dirty. That sounds really dirty. That sounds like we were talking about before that had to do with the batteries.
Exactly. A rubber ducky is going to replace the thimble,
okay.
the wheelbarrow, and the boot.
Wow.
There was a wheelbarrow?
Yeah, there was a wheelbarrow, yeah.
There was? I don't remember that.
It's replacing basically all the...
a penguin?
All the working symbols of the working man with goofy shit, which is silly. I know that times are changing, but what does penguin have to do with anything?
They're keeping the Scotty dog.
Okay.
The car, the top hat.
Battleship.
And Battleship. There was a Battleship?
Yes.
I don't remember this. I remember the thimble. I remember the top hat. I do remember the dog in the car. I do not remember a Battleship. Maybe I just don't have enough friends to play with.
That's right. I remember the Battleship.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. Believe it or not, there was an entire article that Mike Rowe wrote as a response to a letter that he got from one of his fans on this. And I'm not going to get into it now because it was a very long. It was very well written, but it was he had a very interesting take on that. Just look up Mike Rowe. If you don't follow Mike Rowe on social media, you need to. He's a very insightful guy. The guy who was the host of Dirty Jobs.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself.
I was always the Battleship.
Fuck.
Oh my gosh. I don't remember the Battleship. Why can't I remember that?
See, everybody remembers the Battleship.
I love the dog. And speaking of dog, today is National Puppies Day.
It's National Puppies Day.
No, do they mean?
So I don't know because I got a bunch of texts with like I got a bunch of texts from a certain friend of mine.
What kind of puppies are we talking about
I got a bunch of texts from a certain friend of mine with a bunch of images of large-breasted women. So I'm assuming that's what they're referring to because that's all I have to go on. And I remember watching puppies
WWE with Jim Ross,
That's right.
and Jerry the King Lawler, and Jerry the King would get all excited for puppies.
That's right, the puppies.
Yeah, the puppies. So if you have a puppy, Champ. That's right, the Champ.
The Champ.
Just because Pat wouldn't let me name the dog John Cena.
Oh boy.
The dog's name is Champ.
Boy.
So yep. And Pat, did you hear the great news about Tom Brady's missing Super Bowl jersey?
Yeah.
You heard about that?
I heard about
that. A
that.
guy in Mexico just walks into the
faked and how he faked press credentials for the Super Bowl. I have no idea. It is so hard to get into.
Apparently not that
the
hard.
Super Bowl, because look, I know for the big fights, they know who we are, and if the fight's big enough, they even cut us back on how many press credentials we can get. How somebody got into the. And obviously, he got into the Super Bowl with the intent on stealing something. He was dressed up in a suit, looked all professional, but they caught him on security footage, and they even do a post search. You get searched when you leave the facility, but he managed to somehow avoid getting caught. But then they found out, they found him and they got the jersey back. Which, but boy, what is that? There's a whole movie in that. I think that's like a mini version of Ocean's 11.
And I guess the guy quit his job. He worked for a news organization.
Oh, so he did. He worked for a legitimate news, just all to steal Tom Brady's jersey.
Come on, guys. They found
two
Tom Brady jerseys and some guy's helmet.
Really, dude? Come on now.
Brandon probably knows because he follows sports.
Yeah.
He can whisper it in our ears. Oh, Atlanta Falcons. Brady report. No. There was somebody's helmet.
How do you sneak out a helmet?
In a really big bag.
Yeah, but they were searching the press as they left too, so I don't know how he got away with that. But that's. They did catch him though.
Yeah.
So Tom Brady's got the millionaire's got his stuff back. But look, Tom Brady, as much a lot of people hate him, still one of the best quarterbacks ever. That's a quite valuable piece of collectible there. With the Super Bowl, one of his Super Bowl jerseys, I'm sure. The problem is how do you sell it? They know it was stolen.
Yeah, well,
how
that's
do you
what
sell
they
it?
said. They couldn't.
How do you sell it? Unless you're just a collector. Who's
Black
like,
market.
Look what I got.
But on the black market, but even on the black market, the Patriots would have some kind of spies out there because that's the only way you could sell
Terrell's outside. He just texted us.
Okay, well, somebody open the door.
Yeah.
Brandon, open the door for Terrell, please.
Brandon, can you open the door for Terrell? Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so I don't know how that would work. But Matt Radicelli, we got to get Matt Radicelli out on the job, on this job.
That's right.
Police say a 70-pound popcorn ball worth hundreds of dollars was swiped from a suburban Cleveland shop where it was being auctioned and has been returned.
Okay.
Well, they got it back. So
you got back a perishable food item.
70-pound popcorn ball worth hundreds of dollars.
What?
The oversized snack dyed red, white, and blue
from the outside and
was taken from the Chagrin Falls popcorn shop over the weekend, but it was found intact. Nobody ate it.
Well, because it's dyed all these different colors. Okay, we talked about the other guy sneaking out. Here's the thing.
Oh, burn the jersey.
The guy,
burn the popcorn ball.
The fake press guy who stole the jerseys and the helmet. That's impressive. This guy ran off with a 70-pound popcorn ball.
You know what's even funnier,
Pat? That could not be small.
You want to hear why they created the 70-pound popcorn ball?
I would love to hear why they created a 70-pound popcorn ball.
In New York City, right? They dropped the ball. Crystal ball, right?
The crystal ball,
But in Cleveland, and Joe Hecht and I, and Dylan, I think, was even in Cleveland, they drop on New Year's Eve a popcorn ball.
Popcorn ball.
So this popcorn ball was left over from New Year's Eve. By the way, Matt Radicelli from Rock the House was the AV company for this event on New Year's Eve.
That's right.
So they're probably very familiar with this popcorn ball.
That's right. That's classy. That's class.
Only
it's like
in Cleveland.
Only in Cleveland would they have
you
a
drop
giant popcorn
a popcorn ball. What the?
What does that even stand? There's got to be a
We're gonna have to.
We're
gonna have to look.
I have to research why the hell you would make
what
a 70-pound.
We're dropping a 70-pound popcorn ball.
What meeting did that get okayed in? How did they pitch that?
What can we drop? Here they are.
They got a crystal ball in New York, and in China it's like, let's get a giant popcorn ball dyed red, white, and blue. Perfect. Perfect.
Done.
Done.
Sign me up.
You're a genius. Popcorn it is.
You get a raise. And wait, I got it even better.
Smokes.
Why don't we get it sponsored by Jiffy Pop?
There you go.
We don't have to pay for it.
Or well, who was the one?
Orville Redenbacher.
We can get old Orville Redenbacher on the back of it. He could pay. He could pay for that, and we're good.
And then poor
smokes.
Elmo. Elmo is getting fired over the PBS budget cuts. Now, you and I have had private conversations about this.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your for Sesame Street? Everybody's up in arms because Sesame Street's going to be canceled because Trump is cutting, government television, whatever it is, public television.
First of all,
you came up with a great idea.
The vast majority of the stuff on PBS is horrible television. It's just like NPR. It's boring.
Well, we'll never be on that station.
A bunch of like boring hipsters.
There goes our career.
And we talk like this. Everybody talks like they're doing a porno. Hey there, big boy. How are you doing?
Hi.
Welcome to NPR.
Let me tell you about my 70-pound
give us some money so we can stay on the air and talk wispy.
Let me tell you about my 70-pound
ball of popcorn. We're talking to Cleveland about their large popcorn balls. And that's the whole thing. And that's we give public money. So here's the thing. It's a huge show. I think it should stay on the air. Simple solution. You monetize it by putting it on a network. There's a bunch of networks that would say, give me that show.
Absolutely.
It's iconic.
You air
put
it every
commercials
Saturday
in there.
morning.
It makes lots of money.
Yes.
Elmo can get some new fur, because that fur's a little bit old now. Big Bird can get a little cleaning. He can maybe get a little,
The Cookie Monster can get some new cookies.
They can hook them up. Just put it on cartoons, one of the Cartoon Network.
Oh my God, the kids would go nuts for that.
Nickelodeon
I'm
or something.
ABC wouldn't jump all over that.
Monetize it, make it, and just keep it the same as it was before. It's real simple. The reality is most of the rest of that programming, and I'm all for supporting the arts and everything, but whether or not public funds should go to that,
Sesame Street will be picked up by a private
organization, as it should.
Oh my God,
that's probably the only good show that they've ever had on that freaking channel. Go try to watch anything else on there.
Wait, we did have the show, The Electric Company, and we had Zoom. Do you remember Zoom?
That was 40 years ago.
Zoom.
That was 40 years ago. Tell me something now that's worth a damn. That's
Don't you remember the song? We're gonna show you to fly.
I don't remember it as well as you do. That's for sure.
We're gonna teach you to fly high. Come on and Zoom. And they had Zoom cards. Oh my God, I love Zoom. Danny from Zoom was like the hottie on the show. His name was Danny, and all the girls had the hots for Danny.
Wow.
Charlene remembers Zoom.
Yeah,
okay. Come on. Don't you remember Danny, Charlene? Heart for Danny. Danny was the hot one.
It's all you people on the East Coast
remember. She had the album too.
Wow.
Yeah, they were really popular.
Monetize it. If it's a good show, put it on a regular station.
Zoom.
And letting these stations would love to pick this stuff up. Give it a bigger production budget. We could do a lot more with it.
Rita Moreno was on The Electric Company.
Yeah.
Your mom's favorite.
I know.
Rita Moreno.
She's Puerto Rican.
And Morgan Freeman. I think Morgan Freeman was on The Electric Company too.
Morgan Freeman's been on everything, so I could believe it.
Yeah.
He's been. I think he's now been in 18,000 movies. I think. I think he's up to now.
He's got that great voice.
He does, but he's on everything. He never stops working.
Good for
I don't
him.
even know if he sleeps. Yeah, man.
I don't know if he sleeps.
I think when he's asleep, they just prop him up and shoot shoot the B camera. It's like
zoom.
Oh man, yeah.
Those are the only three shows I remember. When I was a kid, I was Sesame Street, Electric Company, and Zoom.
Yeah.
After that, I couldn't tell you what else we watched. I just remember them always holding those cheesy telethons to try to get people to donate money to watch the opera or the Boston Pops or something like that. The Boston Pops. Do you remember the Boston Pops?
Boston Pops. Anyway.
All right, so before we wrap it up, we have 3 last stories, and 2 of them have to do with stupid criminals. Man checks himself out of the hospital and steals an ambulance. East Meadow, New York. Authorities on Long Island say an 83-year-old man has been arrested after checking himself out of a hospital and stealing an ambulance.
You know why he stole the ambulance? He found out how much he got charged for the ambulance ride.
His name is, that's right. His name is Donald Winkler.
Winkler.
No relation to Henry Winkler.
Okay.
At the Fonz.
Hey. It's the Fonz's uncle or something.
Fonz's grandfather. I don't know. Great-grandfather. Winkler stole the ambulance from the hospital parking lot that had the keys in the ignition. Police say they later found the man at a nearby 7-Eleven where he was gulping a Slurpee.
Good for him.
He was taken back to the hospital for psychiatric evaluation, and bail was set for $3,000 at his bedside arraignment.
Wow. So, well, maybe I guess stealing an ambulance after you get brought to the hospital is not such a good idea.
Maybe, he broke out of the hospital, stole the ambulance because he wanted a Slurpee?
Yeah, he wanted to. Yeah, he wanted.
That's
a Slurpee.
Awesome. I mean, I'm in the mood for a smoothie right now.
I think when this guy gets out, 7-Eleven needs to hire him as a spokesman.
He's 83 years old.
Yeah, who cares?
And then our favorite city, Alexandria, Virginia. A robber in Virginia ruined his own getaway. First by breaking his leg in a jump off a balcony.
That'll do it.
And then by calling the authorities to help him.
Nice.
Police say the 21-year-old will be charged with burglary for robbing an Alexandria apartment on Wednesday and then jumping off the second-story balcony after the owner returned home. Officers say they were following the snow trail when they received a 911 call from a man in the vicinity saying he had broken his leg. Help! I've fallen and I can't get up. And it matched the identity of the burglar.
And it was at the end of the snow trail.
Yep, and there it was.
Nice. Well, hey, you can't always be a smart criminal.
No, I guess you can't. And
it
finally,
doesn't look that far.
And finally, with all the people dying, death and dying, I just want you all to know, this came in online, that Willie Nelson declares that he's still not dead.
Yay!
Yay! 83-year-old is still alive, and he declared it. He actually posted it online that he's not dead.
He's not dead. So. Well, because he's had so many stories. I don't think he's had as many as Betty White, but every once in a while he has to remind people that he's not dead, and he's still smoking.
Oh, my God. Dude, that whole Betty and Joan thing, those broads smoked.
Yeah, well,
we were watching that
cigarettes.
Betty and Joan thing. Holy shit, did those women smoke.
What he smokes is a little more interesting.
Well, he can come to Las Vegas now because he'll have a high old time.
Yes, he will. It's legal
he can go
here.
To Seattle too. It's legal in Seattle.
He just can't buy it here yet because they don't have. At least you can get the medical marijuana, but you can't
Willie is always on the top of Charlene's mind. LOL. Always
is he?
On my mind. What are you doing? Are you looking for music to?
No, we're getting ready.
We're leaving.
And we're getting ready to wrap it up.
We're wrapping it up.
That's the wrap-up music that's slowly coming up. You notice how I'm partly engineering the show?
We got 4 people in a control room, and you're...
3, and I'm doing
this,
yes.
No, there's 4 now. Terrell's there.
Oh, that's right, because there's some learning going on in there.
Terrell DJ T is there.
DJ T.
DJ T is in the house.
DJ T is in the house.
Call all the girls. Tell them. All right. So, everybody, thank you so much for listening and watching our latest Staying Up with Pat and Jodi.
Thank you for watching us on Instagram.
We will be back soon.
Yeah,
maybe next week.
Watch us on YouTube. Look up Patrick Harris or Staying Up with Pat and Jodi. We are there. Follow us on social media.
Thanks, girls.
Thanks for everybody for giving us.
Dylan, Joe Hex,
all you guys.
Malibu, everybody out there.
We appreciate it, and we'll see you again real soon.
And don't text and drive.
Bye.
Don't.